I want to change the subject. Do you guys mind if I ask one more question? Because there is something I definitely want to talk about, and that's your relationship with Corey Haim. Yeah, you had a good relationship with Corey Haim, and
my little brother.
And there's a lot of stuff being talked about in the news these days, the last couple months, especially the last year. All this news that about the stuff that's going on in Hollywood, and you were talking about that stuff basically before a lot of people. Corey Haim was, at least. What are your thoughts are going on with the other Corey right now?
Let's see. Dr. Joyce Brothers, Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, and Albert Schweitzer. It would take enough therapy to fix that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's disgusting.
This is over 30 years of drug use. The memory's not what it was, doesn't remember exact things, doesn't remember what happened, makes up stuff, accuses people that by far didn't do the things that he's saying that they did. It's for his own personal reasons, agenda, whatever you want to call it. Corey Haim was a great dude. He was one of those guys that you would want to be friends with because he was just a good-hearted man, And I knew him since he was, almost 15, somewhere around there, Mr. Feldman has said what he has said, and half truth, half not truth, there are things that have been said against Charlie Sheen, and that's just not true. I had this conversation with Corey Haim. I know who did what, when it happened, how it happened, nothing to do with Charlie Sheen. And he would have no reason to lie to me because not only were we friends, but when something happened, inevitably, he'd call me. It would either be me having to go take care of something, or he would end up in my apartment, for a week, and I would take care of him, cook for him, do laundry, whatever. So he would have no reason to lie, So there's money. It's a money factory right now with Feldman. And this has been going on for years now. First, it was the book, and there was a bunch of nonsense in there. And then it's the movie on Lifetime, and there was more nonsense in there. And then it's the documentary now, which is loaded with it. I know Corey Haim's mother. I know Corey Haim's father. I know what kind of people they are. They weren't together. They were getting divorced and all those kinds of things back then. But I knew both of them. I know the family. These are good people. They're not going to let anything happen to their kid. They're not just not going to show up and let him fend for himself at 14 and 13. It's ridiculous, Yeah,
one of the things that really kind of blew it out of left field for me is the talk about Corey Haim's mom and what she has to say about the movie, and Feldman just brushes it off. And here's his mom saying, "Listen, if you're gonna name names and do all this stuff, great. But the second you put money behind it and put a movie out and you're trying to make money off of it, all your credibility goes out the window." And that's from Corey Haim's mom.
But Feldman's been doing this for 10 years.
It's disgusting.
Okay. Now, if you want to know, I will tell you it's not in his book because there's no way he would ever say it. It's not in the movie. You can forget it. Okay. I'm sure you all have a best friend, somebody, okay, that you've known for years, whatever. When this person passes away, God forbid, whenever that day comes, you're going to be devastated. You're going to be crying. You're going to be upset. Everything comes back when this happens. It happened because I was friends with Haim, okay? So the day that it happened, it was very early on a Thursday morning. I got up in the morning. I heard what happened. I went over to their apartment. Corey Haim's mom is there. Okay. I left after an hour and a half, whatever. Feldman had shown up after I left, and I told him I would be back the next day, which was a Friday. I got back the next day, and Corey Haim's dad had already been there. He got in the previous night, and I got there about 12:30, somewhere around there. Well, I walked in, and I had missed the fun. Corey Feldman, whose best friend just passed away 34 hours before this, actually went to Corey Haim's family and offered them money to shoot the funeral so they could put it into season 2 of Corey and Corey get another year of airtime, and get better residuals out of DVDs. This is his best friend, but he's trying to make money off of this. The kid is still sitting in the coroner's office. Well, they threw him out. I mean, they got pissed and they threw him out. So when I walked in, I was there about an hour after him, and Corey Haim's father took me outside. They had a little patio outside their apartment, outside Corey and Judy's apartment. And he tells me what went down. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. There's just no way you can comprehend this. Okay. So, of course, you don't throw me out. I didn't do what he did, whatever. And about an hour later, his mom went into the bedroom, starts taking his clothes, throwing it into bags and whatever. I said, what are you doing? This is going to get donated to the homeless, and this is going to go to the Goodwill. I said, listen, you don't have money for the burial. They didn't have money for his funeral. I said, it sounds horrible, but it's not what I'm going to say. I said, I sell things on eBay. This is from his personal collection. He has fans out there. They're going to want this stuff. You need money for the funeral. Let me take the stuff. I'll sell it. You can have it. I don't want 10 cents. I'm trying to help you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Maria Menounos from Access Hollywood showed up. She saw what I was doing. She asked, we talked. She says, can I do a little interview with you? We'll put it on the air tonight so people will see your items are on eBay and they're real and whatever. I said, sure. We sold about $12,000-$13,000 worth of stuff over the next week.
Wow.
eBay took their fees because that's what they do. Okay, fine. And everything else went to the family. I didn't make 10 cents. You don't want to believe me? That's okay. You can Google it. You can actually go on Google, put in my name and Corey Haim, and it'll come up because that's what I did and that's what happened.
Yes, sir.
You have love for people. You have understanding and compassion for people. Corey Feldman has no compassion for anyone but himself. He has no care for anyone but himself. It's motivated by what's best for him, what's going to do something for him or put money in his pocket. That's all he's interested in. The movie was going to be one time, and that was enough. And Judy Haim was upset about it, Corey's mom, and we talked, and she's like a second mom to me because we talk every couple of days.
Yeah,
I more or less took kind of Corey's part, I guess, as the son. I'm a little bit older, but not that much, But I love this woman to death. She's a good mom, but she's a grieving mother for now a decade, and this other kid is still going. He don't stop.
And he keeps up bringing it up and just making it worse.
He's making money off of his dead friend.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he's doing, And he said, we spent $600,000 or it was $1.7 million on the documentary. Listen, I don't care if they had filet mignon and lobster tail every night when they were doing this thing for over the course of the 2 years. You can't spend that much money on this thing. Mm-hmm. It's a camera. There's a director. He's shooting the camera. It's video. It's cheap. It's nothing. They shot it mostly at his house.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a $1.7 million documentary. That's for sure.
No, listen. Hollywood is creative, and even as much of an a-hole as he may be, he wrote the song for the movie. He's got to get paid for that. So whatever he told his investors that he spent, I bet you 2/3 of it was spent somehow on him. It's the soundtrack, it's the editing, it's the associate producing. I feel sorry for those people because they're never going to see their money back. It's gone. So first it was going to be on one time, and then they had a problem with that. Then he was going to have it for 2 other days. Then it was going to be a month. And now because people are still saying, hey, we don't like what you did here, he's going, well, I'm just going to keep it up online forever, and people can keep paying the $20 and $30 and come and see it. And it's just so he can make more money.
Yeah, because he didn't make any money, the money he thought it was. I remember hearing about it at first where they were talking about he was selling tickets to each showing, and it sold like a couple hundred tickets, and because people think it's disgusting, it's gross.
Well, it is. Listen, so I'm there with Corey Haim's father, and this is Friday, and I said, when and where is the funeral? He said the funeral is on Tuesday in Toronto. So I said, okay, I'll take the red eye Sunday night. I'll spend Monday some time with you guys, and then Tuesday, whatever. And then Tuesday night, I'll go back to LA. He says, no, don't do that. He said, you're going to do all of that and spend thousands of dollars. Because back then, you know, it wasn't like it is now, you know, as far as cheaper ticket wise, I'd have had to pay a bloody fortune. It could have been three grand, let's say, between airfare and hotel.
Yeah.
And he said to me, listen, I know you love my son. Judy knows you love her son. Corey knows you love him. There's no reason to do all of that and look at a box. There's no reason. Make a plan and come later. I said, are you sure? He said, yes. Okay. This is Friday. Monday night, Corey Feldman went on Larry King. And they asked him, Larry King asked him, are you going to the funeral?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he was any kind of a human being, he would have said, you know what, Larry, I just went through my divorce a couple months ago and I just don't have the money to make it, you know, but I hope everything works out okay. And I will go and see him at another time. That's what he should have said.
Textbook.
That's the truth. Instead, he came up with, oh, no. You see, the family asked me not to come to the funeral because it would have been a media spectacle. As if he's Michael Jackson.
He thought he was Michael Jackson.
He thought he was Michael Jackson.
Wow.
That's the point. He thinks if he shows up, oh my God, there's 200 members of the press and thousands of people are going to show up.
You ruined the whole thing on his account.
So this is what he came up with, and it was total nonsense. You know, so you know that whole time and that whole period, he was playing the money game. Oh, I got to do this, and I got to call him TMZ. Oh, hey, I'm going to Sunset Tattoo Parlor. Come over and see me get a tattoo of Corey Haim. Who does that? This is supposed to be your best friend. You're supposed to be almost in mourning to some degree if that's really and truly your best friend. You know, I mean, I did what I had to do because I had to help the family. That doesn't mean I wasn't standing over my computer as I'm typing, that I wasn't crying. You know?
Yep.
I mean, today is July 24th of 2020. It's been 10 years, 4 months, and 14 days since he's gone, since Corey Haim has passed away, and I have yet to watch 1 minute of anything he was in. I can't do it. Can't do it. I know my emotions are just going to fly out of me, you know? And I have a certain way that I deal with people who have passed, because a lot of people I worked with are gone, you know? You know, my thing, especially being in the movies and stuff, is I say they're on location. They're on location somewhere. I don't know when they're going to be back. I don't know when I'm going to talk to them again, but they're on location. You know, no internet service. Someday they'll come back from location. I'll get to talk to them. We know that that's not reality, but that's the way that I deal with it. Yeah. But it doesn't mean I don't care. That doesn't mean I don't cry, you know, March 10th. That doesn't mean I don't cry on his birthday. You know, sometimes his mom and I have some great conversations and I'll lose it because it's where my heart is. There's no money motivation there whatsoever. You know, I've done many interviews on this topic, podcasts, whatever. I've done, you know, there was one guy that did a 4-part series on this for on one of the websites. I haven't been paid a dime. I don't want any money for any of this. I want Corey Feldman to shut the hell up already.
Amen.
If somebody wants to pay me to do this, I'll tell them send the money to Judy Haim. I don't need it. Send it to Judy Haim. She could use it. She lives up in Canada. She's on a fixed income. She's retired. You know, the country, they have their, you know, senior citizen thing that they do and whatever, and the old Jewish people have a thing that they do. That's how she lives. It's not bad, you know, but you know,
more than anything, she wants her son to be remembered, not remembered like this, not have Corey Feldman keep bringing up his name over and over and over to make money off of it.
You are exactly correct. You know,
yeah, it's like fetishizing the scandal of it as opposed to his work and his life and things like that. Yeah.
Listen, Corey Haim was a hell of an actor. He really was. You know, they've talked for years about getting him a star on the Canadian Walk of Fame and all that, and he probably should have it. He did 40-something movies or whatever over the course of, you know, how many years? God, I think he's 83 or 84 is his first movie in 2010. You know, 16 years, you know, something like that. It's a good stretch, you know, and he did a good body of work. You know, that's what he should be remembered for, not this baloney, you know, which is, you know, again, Feldman doesn't care what he's remembered for. He could care less.
No,
because that does nothing for, he needs money. He needs money. This is a money grab. And I'm just thinking, well, what's he going to do now? You know, I mean, if you're going to name names and you're going to say, I have this pedophilia ring and this is what I've got to name the name. We'll name the names. Just call a press conference. Trust me, they'll show up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But he doesn't do that. It's like he holds it ransom. It's a great word. He holds it ransom. So you'll pay him to find out. And what do you find out? Nothing. He said the same thing in the documentary. He said in the book, and he said everywhere else. He's nothing new.
Yeah. Right. It's like one of those old Coney Island like freak show things. Like, come see a man eating chicken.
He's a barker.
And
he's a
like,
barker.
you give me, he's a barker.
He's a barker. That's exactly what it is. He's a circus barker. But he's ransoming information that it's not even there, or he doesn't even say it. You know, we don't know why, you know, other than he has nothing else. You know, I mean, let's face it, you know, if one of his albums ever goes to #1, the world is really collapsed.
Yeah, my brother one time showed me a video. I think it was some type of video where has a band of chicks behind him or some type of show.
Angels.
His angels.
Angels.
It fucking was so cringe for me to watch. I was so embarrassed for those chicks.
Well, he did the Today Show, and it was so bad that they said, okay, you know, this was bad, the sound or whatever it was, so we'll let you do it again. But they didn't actually have it on the Today Show. They had it on the After Hours internet feed. So it wasn't actually on the live show. It was on the after show, you know.
Oh man.
And he thinks he can sing.
It's
you know, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Corey Feldman watches this, you name the time, you name the place, you pick any 3 songs that you want, and I will show up. And we'll let the people decide. And if there's money involved, I don't want it. If I win, give it to Judy Haim. That's my opinion.
There we go.
And that's just me. I'm not a professional singer. I can carry a tune, but by gum, I know 3 songs that I can knock out of the park and just watch him kill himself.
Yeah, because that's what he'll do. Freak out.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's sad. His father, who I know, did not steal his money any of that bullshit. His father's a hell of a singer. There was a club in LA called Club Hollywood, right on Hollywood Boulevard. It's where the Jimmy Kimmel Show is now. Okay, same building, and they were having like a talent night, whatever. And Bob had met the owner of the club, and I knew the guy and whatever. And Bob said, "Hey, I can bring a couple guys, and we can do a couple of numbers." Sure, okay. And I had never heard Bob sing before. He opened up his mouth, and I was like, "This guy can sing. This is great." You know, he did Toto, he did Kansas. I'm like, this is great stuff. You know, the song Toe the Line. Anybody know the song Toe the Line? You'd know it if you heard it. Toto's song.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's great. You know, and he did other songs. Okay, great. Well, then Corey sang.
And then Corey sang.
Oh, God. The owner of the club was like literally scratching the walls. I mean, he was just like, holy shit, what did I do? You know.
That's
Lord.
great. That's great. Well, shout out to Judy Haim. Much positive thoughts out to her. Hopefully, she can get some type of closure and you know, change something.
Well, Feldman is starting to bury himself because people are starting to talk. The girls are starting to come forward and say what's been going on, what's been happening, what did happen. You know, drugs and other things that went down and non-payment and all kinds of crazy shenanigans. Stuff you just don't do. So, you know, he's going to bury himself. He's buried himself at this point.